Hey, Ashley. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Lewis. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Ashley is one of our project engineers, and we're going to be talking about how technology can add value to businesses and how we achieve that here at Microbyte. What does a day on projects look like, and how do they end up on your desk?
Yeah, so ultimately, projects come from companies wanting to get more value out of their business. That could be something like, rolling out a new server or just simply reducing the amount of times their users spend calling in for help desk.
Hmm.
New software reduces, time spent calling up the IT desk for support, which is always good.
If a client wants to invest in their IT compared with a client who doesn't want to invest in their IT, what do they look like typically?
Yeah. So typically, you're going to have the company that's investing more in their IT. They're going to have much, faster, more streamlined systems. They're going to be at the forefront of technology. That means they're more secure, less likely for prone to cyber attacks, and they're going to be investing in the latest and greatest technologies that will just help
Hmm.
them get more value out of their day.
Investing in technology seems to make the staff more productive. Is that what you see in your line of work?
Absolutely. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, and having a modern IT system just helps you leverage that time better and get the best value you can.
Yeah. So we're in a world of remote work now since COVID times, and companies want to be flexible. What does the new projects that we're seeing on the horizon cater for remote workers?
Yeah, so for remote workers, typically there's two choices, right? You've got the server based option, which lets you centralize all of your data and your software in a central place. So if you've got multiple locations, you can easily access it. The other route would be more of like a cloud based scenario. So if you're working predominantly from say Google Suite or Microsoft 365 apps, we can intune you and you can work that way. And you can access
Okay.
all your data through tools like SharePoint and OneDrive.
So for the clients that want to use like pure cloud apps, do they not need servers anymore then?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. It's always good to have, access if you've got multiple offices, for example.
Hmm.
Um, rather than having your data hosted in one server and it's slow for other users, you have it in a central place in the cloud. Everyone can access it. It's again reiterating, it's very secure.
And security seems to be the driving force now behind a lot of IT investment. Why is that?
I mean, do you care about having a good business? Do you care about your security? If your data get compromised, first of all, it damages your reputation.
Yeah.
Secondly, big fines from the government.
Hmm.
Nobody likes those.
No. Okay. So when you're working on a day-to-day project, what's most important to you as a project engineer delivering these for clients?
Yeah, so firstly, I think just making sure the solution we're offering is correct for them. We're not yes men. If you come to us asking for something, if I don't think it's right for you, I will tell you and I will offer you a better solution or something that's more
Mm.
appropriate.
Good. So we're more interested in being impartial and giving the right advice rather than just signing them up as a client and getting them on
It's
board.
a partnership, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
No, I agree. I agree. Okay. And I know one of the solutions we've been rolling out is a type of remote server for clients. What is that and who's that solution for?
Yeah, so that is Azure Virtual Desktop or AVD.
Mm.
It's basically Microsoft replacement to the traditional remote desktop. It's faster, it's more secure. You save on value. It's a bit cheaper.
Hmm.
Who is it for? If you've got multiple offices or you're in different countries, for example, it lets everyone jump on a single server or multiple servers very easily through something called the Windows app. It's nice and easy to do. You
Mm.
don't have to worry about VPNs. I know we've all experienced coming to the office one day and or not, you're working from home, wherever your VPN's not working. You have to call IT. They're not 100% sure how your one works. It takes 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
You just jump on the Windows app, put your details in, you're in. It's nice and
Good.
easy.
And what about AI? What's your take on this and how are you seeing clients adopt this?
Yes, AI is definitely the current buzz in IT. There's lots of different AIs kicking about. My advice would be is just to stick with one. So here at Microbyte, we use Microsoft. We're one of their partners. You're already giving them all of your Word documents and whatnot. You may as well use them for your AI. Stops you giving your data to another big company.
Hmm.
Um, Copilot is a license we offer. Very handy. Everyone's good at filing, but some people aren't perfect at filing their data, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
Copilot really does help with that. If you just search last month's report or something, I do, just as an example. Copilot will find that for you, and it will even attach it into the like Word document or your email that you're in.
Okay.
And it lets you summarize your emails.
So if I was already using Microsoft SharePoint OneDrive and
Yeah,
I wanted to find a document from last month, I could just search within Copilot rather than trying to find the folder that I saved it in.
absolutely. Yeah, saving you valuable time. Just eking out more efficiency throughout the day.
Mm. One of the things we've been using here at Microbyte is Teams Premium,
Mm.
and that allows us to record our meetings and transcribe them automatically. And it gives us follow up tasks. It breaks down the meeting into AI notes, so it'll provide summaries, and it also shows who was speaking when and how much engagement you were getting. And we've really loved that. So, do you think you can see clients adopting that across the base more widely?
Absolutely. I mean, no more just having someone sat in the meeting just for the sake of taking minutes,
Yeah.
not really contributing. This just does it for you. And no offense to that person, but probably a lot better too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody AI taking our jobs. I used to be a good meeting note
Yeah.
taker back in the day. And talk me through what the process looks like, because I know businesses are sometimes afraid of adopting new IT systems because of how disruptive it is. What does the process look like here at Microbyte for new projects?
Yeah, so I think initially we'll get a proposal. Either we'll come to you or you come to us. We'll first evaluate it, see if it's right for you. And then if we think it's good here, we'll have a meeting with you, have a sit down. We call it a round table where
Mhm.
we talk to the clients, make sure they understand it. But more importantly, we understand what you want to get out of this.
Yeah.
They may, and that's a great opportunity to discover various things we may have overlooked. Like this software doesn't work with this feature, so we need to circumvent that. Once we've done that round table, we'll then go away. We create your solution. We'll then do some testing with you, and then we will have a go live. That go live looks like we will probably come to site. There is the opportunity for remote projects, but I think it works better if you're actually in person, sitting next to the person,
Mm.
explaining it to them so they actually can get value out of it. You don't want to roll out a new system and then leave. The next day you're getting 50 calls because they don't really get it. So we make sure that doesn't happen. We explain your new system to you as we're enrolling it with you, showing you new features, whether that be a new server or a new way of working. We'll just make sure you understand it. Um, Following that, you have the aftercare. So a microbyte, what I'll do the night day before is I'll create something called a cheat sheet, and I send that over to all of our engineers. So if anyone calls up for whatever reason, I'm not there on site to help you at that moment,
Mm.
someone on the phone can just pick up and instantly help you with your problem.
Got you. So if I was on the phone, my server's on fire, we've just gone live with a new project, help me.
Yeah,
Rather than me getting a response that looks like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't know anything about your new system," they're more prepared. They're able to say, "Oh, hey, Jill, I see you've just had a new project. Ashley sent me some information. Let me help you."
yeah, and I think that's something we've seen time and time again, right? People they're just not prepared for these scenarios, and that's something we've thought about
Yeah.
and we've tackled it head on.
So I know a lot of clients out there have moved away from a traditional map drive server to a SharePoint cloud file system. What can be the benefits of that?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, accessing your data anywhere. We have a lot of clients here, for example, that have engineers that go out and about on the road. Just put it up your phone when you're, in a service station or whatever. If someone urgently needs a file, you've got it OneDrive or SharePoint on your mobile.
Mm.
Secondly, is data retention. SharePoint has inbuilt version control,
Yeah.
but also security of SharePoint. It really does let you fine tune how you want that data access. So you can lock it down internally. You can also lock it down so no externals can access it, or you can have individual file permissions so anyone can access it if that's what you wanted.
Yeah. So if someone's accidentally overwritten my data on the spreadsheet, the version history allows me to see who did it
Exactly
and
that.
where it went wrong.
Yeah.
What else is useful for cloud file systems that people use?
Yeah. So typically, hosting, first of all, you get, if with Microsoft Business Premium license, you'll get a terabyte of storage in your OneDrive.
Mm.
That's a lot of data to have, and that's not something you traditionally get from a more, or say, legacy software solution such as Remote Desktop.
Yeah.
Normally, you'd probably have 10 gig per user, if that, which can quickly fill up, and that could be
Mm.
expensive, especially if you've got it on premise. You then have to take that server out of action, put a new disk in,
Yeah.
and expand it that way. You
Mm.
don't have these headaches; it's all managed for you.
In my experience, clients just want systems to work
Mm.
and maybe don't want to know the complexities behind why they work or how they work. How would you say your approach is to managing that type of thing with clients? Because they're not always going to listen to the complexities. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, so OneDrive's a great example of circumventing complexities. Um, a lot of users, rightly or wrongly, will save to their desktop.
Hmm.
OneDrive's a great tool for that because it backs up your desktop. So and there are other files that are backed up. You can just explain that to a user, show them like the green ticks, for example, that lets them
Mm.
know their data's backed up.
And you've been doing this a few years now. What about communication do you think is most important with these projects?
I think being open and just regular communication, little updates. If we've encountered a problem, we'll let you know we've encountered a problem and what we plan on doing to rectify that.
Hmm. When these projects come to an end and you've delivered the system, you've gone live, how do we make sure that they get a good experience and it follows on to their day to day?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think there's plenty of stories out there where a project's been completed and the company's just gone, "Yep, ticket closed. Cheers, and good luck."
Off you go.
Yeah, we don't do that here. I think what we aim to do. So the first thing I'll do is I'll send out a handover document, and that goes around to all of our engineers at Microbyte. So the second you call up, everyone's instantly aware of every single change you've had. It probably goes into a little bit too much detail sometimes, I think, but better too much than too little. Once that's done, you know, we have communication channels open. So during the project, I may have set up a Teams chat with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to close that. If you have any issues, like a week down the line, I'm more than happy to pick up the call and get back to you on that.
So they get more of a personal service throughout the project
Yeah, and a
delivery.
direct line to the person who actually implemented it, rather than someone on the
Mm,
help desk who might not be fully up to date.
mm. And how does the traditional archetype of an IT engineer compare to what you see from a project delivery side of things? Is it, guy in a corner coding in the dark, or how does it compare to what you see now?
Yeah, I think it's very it's quite a proactive role, I would say. So communicating, trying to hit the nail on the head, and make sure systems are running before there's a problem, basically trying to circumvent those.
Hmm. Because I've seen when you're working, you always put a lot of effort into making sure you understand what the requirements are from the client in the very beginning, and then implement those things that they're looking for. Because even though we put in an IT system, the things that are important to us aren't necessarily the things that are important to the client.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very, as someone in IT, it's very easy just to focus on the technical aspect and not necessarily on the user experience.
Yeah.
So that's a very key point. Yeah,
Because ultimately the business wants to get value from the
absolutely.
from the project, the IT project. Whereas if we're just tweaking the settings in the back end, it's not necessarily going to deliver what they thought they were going to get from this, right?
So we're looking to be a long-term partner. We're not just after a quick buck. We want to make sure your systems grow and you grow with them, and we're here to support you the whole step of the way.